Hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you in the studios talking a little real estate on a Saturday. There's nothing better. It's the summer market and it's hot, and the real estate market's hot. So much going on. And thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate Show in Knoxville that everybody hopefully listens to. And if you're not listening, hey, you're tuning in the first time? Hey, my name's Ryan Coleman, Hometown Realty founder. The real boss, April Coleman's not here today, but we send you all the love. We do this little show called Real Estate with Ryan. We're this small little company in town where we just try to make a difference, and we just enjoy selling real estate, helping people all throughout East Tennessee have the American dream. So whether you're buying your first home, new home, moving up, growing with a big family, or buying that forever luxury home, we've got you covered, and so excited to be with you. We got a good show. So we say there's enough noise in the real estate market with news. Everybody knows the rates went up. So what are you going to talk about? When I turn on the TV, it's nothing but negativity. Let's talk about in this market how we can make some money in the real estate market, and that's with flipping property. So if you ever talk about flipping a property or what to flip a home, we're going to talk about that show today, how you can make money in 2022 in the real estate market by renovating a home and selling it for a profit. But before we start, as always, we got some great clients to start with and some new price reductions and some solds. So start with our solds, 305 Bona Road. Congrats on a successful closing. Got a little delayed there, and they're moving to Cleveland, Tennessee, and we're done with the close. And he said, Ryan, I'm telling everybody you sold my house for double what I bought it for. And I said, well, thanks, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate the love. County Road, so thankful for you guys. Large tract of land out there in Sweetwater. Sold it. Super excited. 159 Dusty Lane in Powell. Congrats on your new purchase. And then the sale of your home. So excited to be a part of that. Walden Ridge Lanes, congrats. And 293 Little Mountain Way in Townsend. Nice property. Listed with another agent for a while. Didn't get the results that they needed. We're able to come in. Our marketing team really went to work on this property. It was a unique property. Had 2 homes on it, a little cabin. And what do? Couple of weeks, put it on the market, sold. And they're super excited. So that's what's been going on. Oh, and don't forget this. We got a new price for you. So if you think about building in the Smokies or ever have that second home in the Smoky Mountains, Sevierville market, I've got a lot for you. Almost 5 acres exactly, 1140 Crestview Drive. Just put a new price of $850,000. You want to check it out? Go to my website to look at this property and so many others. It's ryancoleman.org. That's ryancoleman.org. You guys tuning in, like I said, for the first time, and you're listening to our show. You say, who's this guy, man? What is he doing? Maybe you catch a couple seconds on the radio, tune me off. It's all good, man. But if you catch us on this Saturday, or maybe you catch us the following Saturday, we're all over social media. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, our podcast on Apple and Android. We're always streaming there live. We got Real Estate with Ryan. So if you missed part of the show, you want to catch it later, it's there for you. And of course, always, we're on 92.3 FM at 11 o'clock and then 98.7 FM at 1 p.m. every Saturday, talking real estate. And as I always tell you guys, I try to do new shows every week. It's hard. The summer is the busiest time. Spring and summer is our busiest season. And as you guys could imagine with the real estate market, there's a lot going on. Always what we talked about last week is you got to have an agent that's got your back in this corner. No corner in this back or back in your corner. What do you like that, Nick? Cornerback, thinking football. That's already, I got my mind. 70 days to football, cornerback, Anyway, we're moving on. But you got to have somebody who has your back in this market. And I think we were meeting some great clients this week in Farragut. And, it's tough. We're having these conversations. We're talking about the real estate market. And, real estate's always timing. So what happened 2 or 3 months ago is different today, right? So much is going on. And I think what we'll see the rest of the year is going to be a good market. But it may not be the same market of what we saw the beginning part of the year. We talked last week, if you listened to our show, it was talking about pricing. And I think that's going to be important, but not just the price. It's so easy to see a lot of price adjustments out here, and that will happen. We're doing those. but it's about marketing. And that's what our company is really big. Best in Knoxville, last 5 years running our company and individual. It means the world. It means we're getting our marketing out. That's why we do this show 5 years running. We're on all these social media challenge channels. And, it's exposure and seeing how we can do to help people. Our company is huge about that. It's not about a commission or a sale. It's about helping you in your new home or helping you guys solve a problem. As real estate is, the market was changing. Some sellers in the market didn't have a whole lot of time in the beginning parts of the market. Inventory was low, like 1,500 homes on the market. So the homes were selling in spite of, whatever sometimes we would do because there was just a demand. But now things are changing a little bit. And that's why you never can go wrong with marketing. Pricing is great, but if you have the right marketing, and we have such a great area where there's such a demand from California, Texas, Florida, all over the U.S., right? And there's so many people that love East Tennessee or want to know what East Tennessee is all about, and that's why they're relocating here. So having a marketing plan in this changing market is everything. So we'll talk about our show, talk a little bit about what we're talking about today. So I figured everybody talks about what's prices going to be? The gas prices, everything's going up. So we've done several renovations. And if you don't know what a flip is where you take a property, you purchase it, and then you turn around and resell it. Usually the rule of thumb is less than a year. They call it a flip. Call it the real estate slang. So you flip a property, renovate it, whatever you want to do. A lot of popular shows out there on HGTV. Nick's laughing at me on my studio, man. Hey, man, this is all freestyle, Nick. This goes right out there. There's no script, man. It's just we're having a good time in the studio talking. Anyway, we have a good time over here. If you can't tell, we enjoy what we do. We like it. You never know what you get over here. It's always a mix. But we talk about real estate, talk about flipping. And there's a lot of friends and a lot of people that we know we've helped get into the real estate business and renovating properties. It's not for everybody. And as the market changes, we may see more opportunities, but you want to be ultra careful, because if you don't, you could lose money in this market that's changing. So we watched the real estate market over the last 2 years really, really change. And if you could get a property and you found that deal, that's the hardest thing to find is you find that deal, which in the market was very, very hard with 1,500 homes on the market to 2,000 properties. To find a deal that would be below market value would be very challenging. And a lot of you investors out there that if you looked at properties, you'd find that the deals that were even great deals were overpriced. So it was really hard for investors to find these properties. But when you sell it within a year, that's called flipping. And basically, you're taking a property that needs some love, a little TLC, needs some work, whether it needs a roof, maybe needs some paint, some cosmetic. We always talk about we're big on what? Curb appeal. Curb appeal is everything. I always say that when you pull up to a property, if you don't like the outside, you're definitely not going to walk in the inside. You're not going to call the agent and set up a showing. And so just doing all that makes a big difference. And one of the biggest challenges we talk with our clients on a daily basis, and it's not that buyers don't have imagination, but sometimes it's the vision. You have to have that creative style where you can really see through a property and see what it could become. But a lot of times it's challenging. And so a lot of these properties, they're not staged right, they don't show right, we don't have the nice neutral colors, we don't have great curb appeal, and some of the designs, we don't get the exposure, but most importantly, we don't get the price that we're looking for. So a lot of investors buy property in a market, obviously, where there's rising home values. Would that be the East Tennessee market? We know there's a huge demand in this area. And then they hold them a couple months. Now, one of the challenges we're going through this market and talk about flipping property or renovating property, it can be done in a great way and be a great investment for you. My friend Dave Ramsey, we talk about this in one of his articles. We talk about what's the 70% rule. What's the 70% rule? Well, I'd say first, number one, Dave, we got to find a property. As an investor, the first thing you want to do is find the deal. And there's lots of different ways that you could find a deal. But probably the number one thing that you want to do is have a great agent in your corner because they're going to have a lot of access that's not on Zillow, not on Realtor.com, and yes, not even on the MLS. Some of the best deals that you can find are not on the MLS. They never hit the market. And so finding the deal in today's market as we approach the rest of 2022 is everything. So have a great agent in your corner, know how to finance the deal, or you're paying cash, and be able to find deals that are motivated. Anytime we get sellers that are motivated, it's an opportunity for you in this marketplace. But Dave's going to tell you, had 70%, let's just say you're buying a house at $300,000, target price would be about $210,000. And then you have some repairs, somewhere about $50,000 in repairs. So the rule is if you can buy it 70% below market value, you probably have enough wiggle room to do what you need to do. But that can be very challenging, especially in some markets that they're rapidly raising up. So, hey, listen, stay with us. We got the break coming on. We'll talk more about this topic and so much more. I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, man.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty.
He says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taken too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. All right, we're back from a break, talking a little real estate with Ryan, and we got a good show for you. If you listen to the first half of the show, we're talking about how you can actually make money in the real estate market. So you have your main job, and we're talking about do a little real estate investing. We're talking about flipping that home as you've seen some friends of yours, maybe family members, or if you watch that famous show, HGTV, Flip This House. We're going to talk about that and how we can do it in this market. Before we get going, guys, I've got a new commercial out. So if you maybe seen this around town, we've got new commercials, different things going on. But this is important. Help me out if you see it. You know somebody is thinking about selling this year. Obviously, the real estate markets have changed. Interest rates are at all-time high, and the market is changing. Not that it's softening, but it is getting a little cooler. If you want to know what your home's value is, text 865-290-2290. 865-290-2290. 290. We'll send you an immediate home evaluation of your home. You don't have to talk to anybody, and we'll give it right to your smartphone. So kind of a new feature. You may see it out on TV. Now you heard it here first, Real Estate with Ryan. And so check us out, text that number. We'll get your home's value. We always say on the radio, listen, if you're thinking about buying or selling, you need to know what your home's value is worth first. We got a meeting tomorrow, 1 o'clock with a great client, and that domino starts with your value, today's market. And it's constantly changing. You're not going to find that online. You're not going to find it on Zillow or Realtor.com. How we determine value is coming out and looking at it and what the buyers are willing to pay. You know, obviously, so been doing it 23 years. I think we've got a pretty strong handle of what goes on in the market, and we can help you get the right price and actually get it sold this year. So getting back into the show, talking about renovating your property, and we've done some a time or two, got one right now that we're working on flipping, renovating. Actually, we got about several. We won't talk about all those, but we'll talk about one particular. It's in Knoxville, and it's an older home. Kind of go back into our historic show. It's built in the 1900s. You know, with these older homes, it's so much work that I didn't realize kind of went into the properties. Not everything's straight, and everything's intricate detail, and it takes just so much time. But remember, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Just because it takes a little extra time and maybe it takes a little bit longer than you think than putting it on the market, it could be a great opportunity. So we're talking about flipping and why that is popular. I've helped several friends, family members. We've done it combination deals. And of course, we do them on the side, partly because we love real estate. I kind of got started into real estate. And I tell everybody, I never decided just to get into sales. Somebody from my church was in sales, and what really intrigued me back in the day was real estate investing. I always thought it was pretty cool. I don't know if it was the infomercials back in the day. That's really dating me, or what. But I really thought real estate investing was such an opportunity, and really kind of stuck with me all throughout my years, and we've been doing it ever since. So that and helping people all makes sense, and that's how we are investing in real estate. So talking to you guys, whether it's your first property that you've ever done, maybe you're a seasoned investor and have multiple properties. We obviously know real estate's the location, right? We know finding the deal, as we talked about in the first part of the show, is the number one thing. You need a great agent to help you there. But what do you do in the market where you got agents buying deals and things like that? Do you ever get to see those properties? What's opportunities that we can find to find these deals? Sometimes you can find them in different neighborhoods that you just ride by, and there's an opportunity that looks like the house needs a little love. Maybe it's an estate property. Maybe just a combination of reasons. So the biggest thing you can do is be proactive and go out there and look and talk to people. You just may be surprised how many deals you may find. Let's talk about when you do find an opportunity in that perfect house, how are we going to do it? Well, you know, cash is king. So if you can pay cash, that's a great opportunity. And it makes it simple. It's risk-free, right? If it takes me 6 months, if it takes me a year, it's paid for, I'm in no rush. The number one way to do it. But a lot of times with renovating property and flipping property, it takes up a lot of cash. It ties up your liquidity, and it's easier to use what? They say OPM, Nick, OPM, other people's money is what the investors say. Use the bank's money. And with rates being historically low, and even now, it makes sense to borrow money to get that renovation loan or the investment property. So check on fees, check on lenders. A lot of your community banks are great opportunities. We've got great relationship with some lenders here in town. Always can refer them to you as well. You can call me off air or just shoot me a message and be glad to respond, give you some ideas of who we use and how we could help you guys. But having a great lender is the number one thing. Number two is a lot of these properties will not qualify for conventional financing. So we can't just go to the bank and get a regular loan. Some of them are auctioned off. Some of them have tenants in them. Some of the banks now are selling these properties with renters in them. So then now you as the owner have to go through the eviction and acquire the property back with all the liens and so much things going on there. So there's a lot of diligence there that's involved. So keep in mind that you want to get the right lender to help you throughout this process. And a lot of times, the number one factor that I think people really don't think about is a lot of times when you get a loan, the banks do something called an appraisal. Well, an appraisal is collateral for the loan. Basically, they're going to see what the home is worth in today's market. And, you know, what you think it's worth and what they think it's worth is two different things. So they get a licensed appraiser, they do a valuation, they go out and visit the property, and they're going to visit other sales that have happened in the last, 3 to 6 months. I say a year, but reality, it lasts 3 to 6 months. And as the market tightens, that time frame restricts a whole lot more. So they're going to come up with a value, and then that is what they're going to base your purchase price on. That's how much you have to put down. A lot of investment properties, you're going to have to put 20% down. As the market changes, don't be surprised. They may put you to put 25% down. We have some lenders, and this will get into the weeds, but basically will allow you to have an aftermarket value. So the house is $100,000 as is. But if you do all the repairs and everything, it's $200,000. Sometimes they will loan you 75%, 70% of the aftermarket value. So they'll do their appraisal on what it's going to be with the repairs that you're going to submit. So just a lot of great ideas and having opportunities in the marketplace to get your first renovation. I think the number one thing whether it's your first property renovating or you've done this a time or two, study your market, know your market. In today's market, it's not what sold the beginning of the year or even the end of last year, right? The market has changed so rapidly, especially with COVID and everything like that came through the markets. I remember last year we were talking about some of the sales that we didn't use prior in COVID because it didn't represent the market because we were locked down, and some of the sales did not reflect or was not enough data. As you could see, we've skyrocketed on some of those sales. Know the market, hook up with a great agent that knows the market and owns other investment properties that can be your best asset in the market. Always, Dave's going to tell you, I'm going to tell you, let's make a budget. No matter what you do, and in this market, everything is so expensive. And so what you want to do is go to the property and really break down, start you a spreadsheet, break down what needs to be done, what's bare minimum, but don't try to make it a brand new house. It's so easy to start spending money. And one of the biggest things is knowing your area and where the property is located, because the market in that area will dictate what you do to the property. Do we put granite countertops? Do we change all the siding? Maybe we don't do that. Maybe it's lower affordable housing, nice, clean. Hey, maybe it's upscale. And if you don't update that kitchen, you don't update the bathrooms and vanities and put in that beautiful hardwood flooring, guess what? You're not going to carry the resale value that you're expected. Make smart renovations. Make sure that you're looking at the market as a whole and that you're seeing what other people are doing. When you go on the market and you absolutely spend time on this property, if you're working another job or multiple jobs, you have to be able to balance your time. That's probably the number one thing, that if you're going to get a flip, expect a lot of work that's going to be involved. You're going to have to manage the property. You're going to have to make sure it's secured. Get the right type of insurance. A lot of times insurance is not talked about, right? So if you have the basic policy, sometimes if it's vacant, it will not cover you. You may have to get a vacant dwelling policy. All these things come in together with the property and so much more. But getting started in this show, we're running out of time as always. Location's everything. Find the right real estate agent to help you. Set a realistic budget and don't go overboard in the neighborhood. Follow the trend, find the comparables. And guess what? We talked about it last week. Price it right, it's going to sell. I hope you've enjoyed the show. We love spending time with you. Did we even do our vol update? We didn't even get the vol update, man. Can we get it in? It ain't going to happen this time. That's how we have so much fun in real estate with Ryan. But I enjoy you guys being with us every week, and we're going to see you next Saturday. But if you need us for anything, the best number in real estate is 693-SOLD or ryancoleman.org.